Accucare Physical Therapy and Sports Medicine in Brick, New Jersey offers a state-of-the-art facility with all the best and current treatments. With athletic trainers, massage therapists, and doctors of physical therapy, Accucare has everything you need to stay healthy and perform at the highest level. Cupping, stretching, laser therapy, compression boots, and a full-body cryo chamber are just some of what you can expect at Accucare. Check out their website and social media links in my bio. No prescription is needed to see them. So call them today and start feeling and performing at your best. Again, thank you to Accucare for sponsoring the Shore Football Report. Just got two things to say right now. First, I want to thank Accucare. They are awesome, our great sponsor. Get there. If you haven't been there yet, make an appointment, get to Accucare, especially towards the end of the season when your body needs to get that extra push and be healthy on the football field. Rehabilitation, recovery, they are the best. Make an appointment, call them and tell them you're coming. All right. The Shore Football Report is definitely endorsing going to Accucare. They're the best out there right now. And they have athletes going there around the clock, all sports, and that's that. And also, when you're transitioning to another sport, your body is gonna be needing this Accucare treatment because you're using different body parts. So just make sure that you utilize Accucare, located in Brick. They are the best. I love being associated with them. They are part of the team, the Shore Football Report team. All right. The other thing I want to say is this: subscribe to the Shore Football Report YouTube channel. Every one of you, when you watch it, click subscribe. It's free. It's free. Turn the notifications off if you don't want to hear it, but subscribe. By you subscribing, says thank you. I need 1,000. I want 1,000 subscribers. Please, 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 please subscribe. Scott Stump says I don't say it enough on our show. That's why we don't got 1,000 subscribers. But subscribe. All joking aside, it's the cool thing to do. All right, join the Shore Football Report team. We got so many things that are going to be going on our YouTube channel, not just our talk shows. We're going to have extensive all-star team coverage that we're going to do. Also, yes, you've been asking, the Stumpy Awards, they're coming back. The Stumpy Awards are coming back from 8 years ago, and I know you guys are going to love it. So we're going to have all my all-star teams, all county, all shore, all division, my rankings of players, because I changed things up and seeing how guys are playing, adding the freshmen, the 2026s are going to be included in that rankings too. It's a lot of stuff, all going to be on our YouTube, the Shore Football Report YouTube. Subscribe. You won't want to miss it. In the off season, I'll be doing things around the clock for recruiting, talking with college coaches and coaches from all over the country will be on my talk shows throughout the off season. There's no off in my season. All right. Subscribe to the Shore Football Report, and also, more importantly, make an appointment to Accucare.
Defending non-public B champ RBC going to have a tough one this week in the semifinals as they try to repeat for the first time as back-to-back state champs since the start of the playoffs system. You got Holy Spirit coming to Cal Basie on Friday night. Holy Spirit now ranked in the NJ.com top 20 and a few other state top 20s. They've been real impressive, especially later in the season. They average 32.8 points a game. They just put up some big numbers, in their last couple games. I mean, 50-21 over a pretty good St. Thomas Aquinas team in the first round. Their quarterback, it's really their pass game is really impressive. Sean Burns, their quarterback, threw for 335 and a couple touchdowns. And Gavin Roman is really like their do-it-all guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he runs the ball. He had like 60 yards rushing last week. He threw a touchdown pass, but most of all, he is one of the most prolific receivers in New Jersey. For the season, he has 92 catches and over 1,100 yards, which for all I know may lead the state in both of those categories.
I think it is.
He's just been incredible. I mean, 92 catches. That's when you talk almost 100 catches in a high school football season in New Jersey. I mean, that's an incredible season. So that's a guy they're going to have to really focus on slowing down. And it's not just those two guys. Jasir Ward is a big sophomore running back, big physical, 5'11", 200-something pound back. He had 100 yards rushing last week too. So he's another weapon. But really those, the pass game is what really lit up St. Thomas Aquinas. And yeah, Roman is all over the field. Even last week, he had double-digit catches in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't have a touchdown, but I think it was like 10 catches for 193 or something like, crazy. So yeah, Burns locks in on him. So this is going to be a good test because RBC hasn't really faced too many teams that can throw the ball on this level. They did do a nice job against Rumson, but I wouldn't put them quite as good as this passing attack for Holy Spirit. I mean, what kind of challenge do you think this is going to be for RBC?
Well, I mean, last week they were not pushed at all. 62-7, Red Bank Catholic won, and we knew that going in. Gloucester Catholic wasn't going to prepare them. I think the B bracket is kind of 4 teams and then everybody else, and we let's just cut them out and let's just get and play football. Red Bank Catholic's got a great defense, and we know that. I mean, they've really done real well all year with Bruton, Palmieri, Aiden Donahue, and their front, and of course Portella in the backfield, and they got the athletes too. This is going to be a big challenge for Red Bank Catholic playing a Holy Spirit team that people down south think they're going to come in and beat Red Bank Catholic. So I'm kind of in a little bit of war with my buddies down south about the bragging rights of the short conference. Red Bank Catholic being the top parochial school here against Holy Spirit that's been a powerhouse for years and years and years.
Yeah, I mean, Holy Spirit is a program that's, they've won 11 sectional titles. So they're no strangers to playoff success at all. They've been a long-time power in South Jersey. I think the guys you just mentioned in that front seven, their ability to get pressure in this game, I think is going to be huge. The less that RBC has a quality secondary. Sabino Portella is like one of the best safeties around.
Mm-hmm.
They got good corners. Like they're talented back there, but again, they have not faced a team that can throw the ball like this really all year.
And they play one side.
Bruton and those guys are sure.
Yeah, they got a lot of guys that don't go both ways, Red Bank Catholic. So they're resting or being talked to by the coordinators while the other side of the ball is on offense or defense. It's pretty unique what Red Bank Catholic has going. So I think that could benefit them too, because there's going to be a lot of adjustments during the game, a lot. And you need your corners and your Mike linebacker there to talk about the certain things. But I feel good about this game because I think that Red Bank Catholic.
I also think the run game, though, of RBC is going to be as important as their defense. Like the longer you can keep those guys on the sidelines and kill the clock a little bit and lean on them, I think that's a huge difference too. I mean, RBC's offense in the last 2 games has put up over 110 points or something, but those opponents, to me, are not anything close to the level that Holy Spirit is. But yeah, I mean, I think RBC is just so driven to get back to this title game and win another one, and it's a rare chance at that school at this point to make new history. They've had such an incredible run here the last 15 years that there isn't anything they really haven't done yet. And one of them is winning back-to-back titles. So I think that's a motivating factor. And again, we've talked about this before. The coaches are going to say they don't care about the rankings. It's not important. But NJ.com just leapfrogged Toms River North over RBC in the state rankings. The coaches in our poll voted Toms River North over them earlier So again, if they're out to prove they're the Shore's number one team, this is another chance to really make a statement in that regard, especially against another state-ranked team.
Yeah, I mean, Coach Lang's done a great job. You're right. Now they already won their state championship. Now they get a chance to repeat, which they never ever were able to do. I know that's their rally cry on their bulletin board. I mean, they brought a lot of guys back from last year's football team. They're a very experienced football team. I'm waiting for Emmanuel Ross to take this game over, or Naja Rahman to take this game over, to have that big game of 10 catches, 175 yards, which we know that they could do at any time. I'm looking for Red Bank Catholic to make some big splash plays in this game. I really do. I mean, it's going to be a big game in the state.
You keep saying that every week. I think you've been
I know.
You've been waiting for this big receiving game for like a month and a half.
I mean, because what they do is they divvy it up. They split it up to all these different guys. I think purposeful, to be honest with you. I mean, when you have a lot of good athletes like that, they all want the football. You all got to be at practice on a Monday hearing, hey, coach, we had a great game, we won, but can I get the football? Every team's got those type of egos. So Frankie Williams, the sophomore, has to divide the ball and throw it to here, and he probably is in his head, I got to get the ball to Stump a couple times, or Rahman over here. I mean, that's great, but now they got to win football games and use your stars, and who cares who's not getting the ball? Just get it to your horses, and those are the horses. Ross, Rahman, of course, Stolfa, and we know Portella. And I'm waiting for Harmon to have a big game.
Yeah, too. I mean, but everything they do is based off the run game. Like they always want to establish that first. I mean, their feeling is if they sense right away that they have the physical advantage on you up front, that they're getting off the ball and blowing your line back 2 or 3 yards every play, they're just going to stay with that run and just keep smashing you with it, shorten the game, and, break you down. So it's really going to be a question of, can they come out and establish physical dominance like that, or will Holy Spirit get a stalemate to where, you're going to have to start on play action, on some other things, hitting some plays. But, RBC, again, they're a top 5-6 team or whatever it is in the state at this point. They're the strong favorite here. But, again, they're going to have to beat another really good program that's also a state-ranked team that has clearly some players. I mean, you're not getting 90-plus yard catches and 1,100 yards with a couple extra 100 yards rushing. This is a talented team. This is, a big step up in competition from the last couple of weeks for RBC.
It gets windy, though, at RBC's field. It does, and it's going to start getting cold now, which, the ball gets a little more slick. It's harder to throw the football. I think that's going to play an effect, too, in this game right here. I love RBC's kicking game. I love Lamorte. I love Caruso. I love their kickers that they have. I like their special team. It's going to come down to kicking defense, which I think Red Bank Catholic has pretty good ones on both units there.
And the other thing is, you look at RBC's one loss, right? Because that's obviously what's going to be brought up here in a conversation if it comes down to them and Toms River North. Seton Hall Prep just shocked St. Joe's Montvale in the last round of the playoffs, and they're still alive in non-public A. So even though they're only like 6-5, their schedule is brutal, but they've had some really good wins. That they've shown like that's a really good team. So that loss, not great, but it's obviously against an opponent. Initially, I think people thought, they're only like 4-4, or is that a bad loss or whatever? But now they go out and beat St. Joe Montvale. That shows, that's a pretty good team, because you don't just go out and beat those guys on the road. I think Montvale was number 4 in the state when they took them down. So that's a good win for them as far as showing that that loss wasn't so bad to Seton Hall Prep. And if it comes down to that, I'm just curious of what the argument will be for number one. But you know what? We'll get to all that. Both teams have to win 2 more games first. So let's not get ahead of ourselves in any of that. I've covered this long enough to know anything can happen here in the last couple of weeks.
I love the fact that all 3 games are spaced out. Friday, we got RBC, and then Saturday, we have Tom River North, and then Sunday we have Rumson. So I can go to all three. No excuses. No excuses. But I am going to bring out
like you getting the Holiday Inn or something down there in the Cherokee High School area.
Yeah, yeah. But I heard it's real nice at Cherokee. It's in a big valley. You can see just as well on the off the bleachers around the perimeter. They said it's going to be a really nice atmosphere right there. But before that, we're going to be at Red Bank Catholic, and that's always a nice atmosphere, as you know. There, I'm not going to have to wear my fake mustache and beard because I am picking Red Bank Catholic to win the game. Yeah. So I don't care. And
that's a good move out of self-preservation for you. That's a good move.
And I'm going to hit 30 Burgers, which is 2 blocks away, right after the game. I think that they want to sponsor me for something for my eating habits there. I love it.
Gianni's Pizza, man.
I like 30 Burgers. So good luck to RBC on Friday.